Hey everyone, in this video I'm going to show you 3 unusual corrupted dungeon builds that are actually pretty strong. While I tested these in Stalker, they can also work in Slayer but might struggle a little bit against the more meta builds. Starting us off, we have the Sleepy one-shot combo build. This build uses a Harvester Cap, Cleric Robe, Hellion Shoes, Thetford Cape, and then either a Dagger Pair or normal crossbow for weapon, along with Poison Potions and Beef Stews. The Harvester Cap is becoming a little bit more popular recently as it's a great offensive setup for easily counterable abilities like the crossbow's one-shot, while also coupling as a good defensive with stealth and sleep. The most important thing to be successful while playing this build is knowing your Hellion Shoe matchups. You're going to want to know when they have easy ways to counter the Hellion Shoe's special ability Mark of Sacrifice and when they don't, so you can either go that special ability or just the normal run. Depending on this and other specifics of the matchup, you're going to want to play a little bit differently, but the standard combo is to Hellion Shoe to your enemy, sleep them instantly, and then use your Poison Potion plus E to try to one-shot them. The sleep allows you to wait out their defensive if they use it before you Hellion Shoe to them or right after. Otherwise, if they don't get it off, you can just use your combo right away. If you're using the one-shot crossbow, you also have the option of comboing the sleep into your silence shot on W and then going with the E after that. The Sleepy one-shot build is very strong against things that cannot deal with your combo, such as things that can't interrupt your Hellion Shoes, and most things with cloth armor. However, they do struggle against plate armor as you can't really one-shot them, and really high sustain builds like Double Mercenary Jacket. Our next build is one that was really popular at the start of Corrupted Dungeons, but has sort of disappeared since then, the Trap Cheese build. For this build, you want to use a Hellion Hood, Graveguard Armor, Cleric Sandals, Heretic Cape, and a weapon with a stun like a one-handed mace or quarterstaves, along with Invisibility Potions, and the food doesn't really matter, but you can use River Sturgeon as sort of the best option. This build is pretty simple. You just want to find a Flame Spitter trap, wait around it, and then Invis Potion when they come, stun them out of Invis, blink onto the trap, Hellion Hood to silence them, and then watch them burn to death. This build is sort of like a fun, cheesy build that can win against almost anything, but is very not cool to play. People won't like you if you run this, and if they see you before you combo them, they're just going to refuse to fight near any traps that can kill them, and then just break crystals and force you to clear with a set that's really bad at clearing. Last but not least, we have my personal favorite from this build list, which is the Forge Hammers. Now there's a couple way to build Forge Hammers, but this way is my favorite. Assassin Hood, Hunter Jacket, Leather Shoots with Refreshing Sprint, Thetford Cape, Forge Hammers, Omelets, and then some defensive potion like Gigantify or Resistance. Forge Hammers are really strong in Corrupted Dungeons because their E ability is both a really strong offensive and defensive ability at the same time, so this build plays on that by having it up as often as possible. For your playstyle, you want to dash onto them, then use your Hunter Jacket and E at the same time, and try to auto-attack them as much as possible. They'll likely pop a bunch of defensives to get out of this combo, so once it runs out, you want to look for an opportunity to use your Assassin Hood and then just use your combo right back over again on top of them. Most builds can deal with the first combo pretty well, but the second one after Assassin Hood, they usually just die. Often I like to use my defensive potion in combination with my Assassin Hood so that they can't punish it as hard with damage. Really, if done effectively, this style leaves them no opportunity to deal good damage to you when you don't have a defensive buff active. That being said, you still do want to make sure you have good spacing when your E and R are on cooldown because you're kind of useless without them. So try not to fight them at that moment if they're not available. Now, one of the benefits of Forge Hammers is that they're actually super easy to play. This is one of the reasons I love them because most defensives that normally counter things that do damage in the way that Forge Hammers do aren't actually super effective against Forge Hammers themselves. For example, take Deflect. Usually you don't want to pump all of your damage into a Deflect, but if you're on Forge Hammers, it's actually pretty okay because you're super tanky when you have your E active, so you don't really care that much about the damage being reflected back to you, making you have a pretty effective damage trade. Forge Hammers are weak versus super good kiting builds like Frost and Bows, and also a thing with long, strong defensives like Cleric Cowl and Assassin Jacket. Forge Hammers are really strong against pretty much everything that has less mobility than you, and is especially good against things that rely on channeled abilities, as the mini stuns from your auto attacks are quite annoying to deal with. Okay, that's it for this video. I hope you found your next favorite Corrupted Dungeon build in this video. As always, if you liked it, give it a like, and if you want to see more content like this, subscribe.